Hello everyone. Hello. I hope that you'll forgive my starting at a really late hour. Well, for my how it usually works for me anyway. Long story short, I needed sleep. Oh, did I? Oh dear. It's unfortunate because Friday is usually the one of 2 days that I do really long streams. Streams where I can actually make significant progress in a game if I go on for 12 hours. But I can't do that tomorrow because I have to be occupied at the middle of the day, start of the evening, and can't do that today because I was tired enough that I knew I needed a nap if I was going to go for anywhere near that long, and also so tired that I did not even get the alarm set. I have an alarm on my phone, which is where the regular alarms live, and then on my computer as well, and I had it pulled up and did not even put something in. I was that tired. It is... Oh, one sec. It is one of those days. One of the days of all time, or something like that. Ooh. Nice and hot. Ooh. Have a little coffee. At 9 o'clock in the evening. A little coffee. Alright. And it's good. Alright, so what we're doing right now is I am putting together the Northern Tribe models for Warcrow. Quick point of reference, the starter set that I used to get into Warcrow, it actually had two armies. You saw me put together one army and the very first models of another. This is that other army. It's called Northern Tribes. It's the Barbarian Orc and Elf tribe. Or faction. And it's okay. It's not really my ooh, nice cup of tea. I don't like super ultra hyper aggressive playstyles. That's not quite my thing. But these are neat. These are pretty cool, I think. Aesthetically, if you're going to play something like that, these look cool. And Evangeline likes that they are blue elves. Because they live way up north and that turns them blue. Dabba dee dabba die. Or something like that. Let's see. Very nice. Oh, let me get you out of the way, Riptide. My good Riptide friend. Oh, there you are. I will need this in just a wee bit. Alright. Hope you all are doing better than I've been. It's fine. It's fine. Also, you'll still be able to hear me, but give me just a quick moment. It would help if I got out the box, actually. And that's because that box happens to have the pictures I'll be looking at, and a few other things that I probably should get out from there. Alright, one moment. You know that little trick where the magician has a tablecloth and a bunch of stuff on the table, and then 1, 2, 3, and he yanks it? Well, I'm going to do that. Get everything out of the way. Yoink! Perfect. I know you can't see, but that made my life a lot easier. Well, I say, something did not make it all the way to... Aha! Never mind, we're good. The best laid plans of mice and men. And also elves. Hey, Luna! Inexplicably 140/90? No, I do not. I don't know that I've ever been that high in my life. And you are quite a bit younger than I am. I'm almost 9,000 years old. How did that happen? Oh dear. You should try that health insurance policy I sent you, Luna. Blood test, blood test, blood test. This is a joke that makes sense to exactly no one that isn't the two of us. or the about 3,000 or so people that have watched that video. Oy, oy, oy. If you too would like to be invested in these silly inside jokes here at T1 JDArrLove, then join the Discord server, link in the description below. Dark Souls reference, nice. You speaking my language. Dark Souls reference, that's all you need in life, right? All you need in life. I'm having a good old day. I was just telling the world, Luna, that I was supposed to start streaming a lot sooner. But I was so tired that I forgot to set my alarm. Yay! Oh dear. In other words, on the one, I say overslept. I overslept, but goodness, I could use that sleep. Handy oversleeping, I guess. So let me set you over here after all. Alright. You have a purpose, and it is going on the shelf and staying there for forever. Perfect. Alright. You are correct. That is exactly right, Luna. Which also means this isn't going to be a stream that goes on for 12 hours anyway, because that would put me well into the morning on something that I can stop at any time. It's a little unfortunate because it feels like a waste of a weekend, but this was a weekend that I wasn't going to be able to do as much as I normally do anyway, as far as long streams are concerned. I'm going to try to remember, hey, T1, lean forward every now and then so that people can actually see what you're doing, see what you're working with. Ideally, I would have this camera higher up and closer to me, and obviously angled more further downwards. That would be the plan anyway. Picture. Oh, you're on the wrong side. Which one am I looking at? Oh dear. Oh wait, I'm still tired. Which one are you? Let's see. Oh, I think I see which one you are. I know what you are. Oh, great. I love these. Yeah, the super glue. I can open it, but it's opening all the way down here, not just the nozzle. Means I didn't clean it properly to get all the super glue off. Alright, here we go. I had a friend of mine, actually this same thing happened at my game store, and I had a friend of mine open it for me. Which, you know, oh dear goodness. You'd certainly rather it not be the case, but ah well. Oh. I can just use it as it is, but without the nozzle, I am not going to get it only a little bit to come out. I'm going to get a whole heaping helping. Which, no. Maybe not. Role-playing thread. Oh, okay, on Reddit? I guess that does exist on Reddit. Fair enough. I'm used to that being Discord these days. But hey, that works. Okay. So that's annoying. What I could do is, for the time being, just simply open up a new one. I'm just gonna make sure that that one doesn't get have the same problem, because it's super glue. It's expensive enough that I don't want to keep having to do this. Oh, sweet goodness. I say expensive enough. It's not expensive, but you know, you with a bigger one like this, you're paying more in exchange for a better value, but it doesn't actually matter if you can't use the whole thing for its full duration, which is why sometimes it may feel better to use the smaller ones. Another second or so. Oh, you know what I could do? Stick this one in hot water. Ah, that'll loosen it up. Well, for the time being, it's fine. That's what we'll do. Give me just a moment. I will be right back. You know, it just took me a moment. It dawned on me. Someone at what did you say it was 3 a.m.? Someone at 3 a.m. is telling you to go and do the dishes. Huh. You said sitting on the couch minding my own business, someone walked in and yelled at me to do the dishes at 3 a.m. And as far as I'm aware, my internet is fine right now. So it might be your end. Maybe. At least I'm hoping. Here is to hoping. Hold it for long enough that it will dry itself down, basically. Alright. Oh. Reality, that was a roll. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Alright. You're doing a roleplay game that involves somebody having to do the dishes. That's not role-playing, that's playing the role of me. Wait, what? No, I gotcha. I'm just messing with you. Escapism, and then it's more of the real world. I'll admit, I have a bit of a hard time wrapping my mind around the concept of playing a simulator game that's just a thing you can do in the real world. Really, even something like Story of Seasons, or formerly Harvest Moon, even those I still have a little bit of a hard time wrapping my mind around, although I played the ever-living heck out of those, especially with the Harvest Moon 64, because there weren't that many N64 games that we owned because of how expensive they were, and we milked the crap out of the ones that we did have. Here's hoping your internet sucks and mine doesn't. Well, I mean, you know, if yours sucks, it's only affecting you. If mine sucks, it's affecting you and everyone else watching. But yes, I did come out kind of funny. Funneling. What the heck is going on here? Oh. I do know which one you are. Okay. Oh, I can feel it, by the way. I'm going to end up gluing my hair today. It's going to be great. You know. Here, what if I scooch a bit closer? It does mean, as Ty would say, I get the grippers out for everyone, which is not my intention, but hopefully it makes it harder to not be on camera. Hello. Should not be trying to glue a hair in here. Please and thank you. Now, would you kindly not move, please? Much appreciated. Alright, maybe that's enough that I can set you down. Yes. Alright, cool. No build instructions for any of these, by the way. Simulator games like those give you a sense of accomplishment without the effort. I suppose so. I suppose. It just feels to me like more work. This is one of those, there's not a wrong answer. It depends on how you play it, how you feel about it. Like Power Wash Simulator I've been told it's a very fun game. And it is, that one I could kind of understand. That's not something that people, well, a lot of these games are not things that people could typically do. But I am a real person that can go run errands, and so Harvest Moon, and even something like Animal Crossing. Yeah. Get in there. Get in that. supposed to balance it for a little while until it gets all situated. Send the comments when we're done with washing something without having to physically go out and wash something. And power washing can actually be surprisingly physically taxing. Or maybe not surprisingly, maybe it's really obvious, but I think people underestimate how much effort you have to put into that. I'm going to trust you. Oh, right, I'm going to be made of super glue here pretty soon. That's going to be fun to look forward to. There's a reason I keep moving this one around. Top. Also, we are on the shorts feed as well, which occasionally has resulted in us getting inexplicably a ton of viewers to a stream. You know, I say occasionally, I think it's only happened twice. Most of the time it doesn't seem to make a difference on the view count. But when it does, oh goodness, you will notice. I think the little knob on there is intentional. This bit, however, not so much. Nice. Very nice. Caesar-chan. Very nice, Caesar-chan. Oh, I almost want to keep the horn on this guy's head. It's like an angry Oni. Angry Oni. Angry. Also more fun when you do because you want to and not because you have to. True. That would suck the life out of anything having to do it. No disagreement here. Why are your feet all hecked up? Technical term. Man, oh man. Also, where'd your butt go? Oh, here we are. Nice. All hecked up. Oh my god, Becky, you can't just ask when someone's butt is all hecked up. Well, I mean, you can, but screw it, you can. If you don't play Grace Porn, I will riot. Your mentioning that is the first instance of me hearing about that. I can guess by the name. Sounds like a Bloodborne mod, or a fan game, or something like that, or just a Soulsborne. Like how there's a game. Well, okay, Black Souls is no, that's a different kind of game. That's a different thing. Recommending Black Souls is like recommending Bible Black to somebody. You gotta really know that that's what they're into. You have to. You got to. Oh my sweet goodness. Oh. Alright, cool. Hold it in place for a little bit. Okay, that's a little bit. Should be fine. Just have him stare at the dirt for a sec. Bloodborne themed Elden Ring mod. Ooh, Grace is, yeah. Grace, I get it now. Everything is obvious once you know the answer. Of course. But yes, That would be sick. I hope it gives Bloodborne mechanics to Elden Ring. You know, not just Malenia's rune, and maybe it does, actually. Maybe it just piggybacks off of code like that, but it'd be kind of neat if it did more. I hope so. Again, this is the first time I'm hearing about it, so answer is probably. Alright, 2 down. Where is... Good times. You're all done. Good job on some of these sculpts. Good job, Corvus Belly. So the answer, Luna, is yes. That sounds like fun. However, I will admit, probably not anytime soon. Just simply by virtue of how many games I'm juggling right now. You know how it goes. Again, I was supposed to be playing Hades 2 today. Oh dear. Oh dear. Ay, 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 ay. Nice. I saw you. Sneaking away. Oh. Another spike on this guy's head. Man, I'd have a headache too. Let me just double check. Yep, okay, cool. So these can be drying while I go do something else. I'm supposed to be trying to clear through my... let's at the very least the gift backlog first. And I chew my food, so that does take a while. For better or worse, or much better. I was actually considering doing a 3rd playthrough of Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and then I decided that since I've already done 2 playthroughs, probably should get on to the other ones first. But if we want to, we can do a short stream going back to Clair Obscur for the super bosses. That would be probably fine. No, that would be definitely fine. Your arm is... well, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Oh, Luna said my mother wants my grandmother to teach her how to knead dough. She's like, could you translate? Oh dear. That sounds... I don't know, but I see the word hoe in there. Either the gardening implement... well, it would be the gardening implement, because if you leave out the E, it means something else. It's short for your mother... no. 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 I'm sure, never having met her though, but I'm sure that your mother is wonderful. Oh. I just could not help but make the joke. I am very mature, clearly. Very. Oh, so clearly. Uh-huh. And I guess while you're drying, probably supposed to do this the other way around, but this way I don't have to worry about the glue falling off while I'm doing this. Well, not the glue falling off, the glue getting everywhere. That's what I mean to say. Alright. There we go. My goodness. There's not really an easy way to set this one down other than on its feet, so that's what we'll do. Set it down on its feet. So that we can keep this one alive for as long as possible. Ow, okay. Okay. Much better. But it's so easy, Mom. Anything is easy if you know how to do it. True. Your mom is right. Yo, mama. Mama knows best. Then I guess her mama is her mama, so she should know best, but nah. Yeah. Yee. How? Perfect. Let me make sure that well, the arm should be fine to fit in there. Just in case. Just in case. You never know. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Given that I am not going to do a 12-hour stream, I am going to finish my taxes when I get done with this. Yay! Woo! It's not that bad. A lot of it's already done for me. I just need to, you know, get off my lazy butt and do it. As you do. As one does. Oh, is Scofel. Do you use that as, in some languages, like French and Polish, you can just use that word itself, or a word that means the same thing, as a shorthand for like the F word? In French, putain literally means prostitute, but you don't use it often like that. You use it like, you know, heck, but stronger. You use it like that. It's because of a shortening of expressions over and over again. Let's see. So, for example, your mother is becomes eventually degrades down into just simply saying that word, and people know the rest of it just from context. Now, where are you? Where do you go? You have your arm back behind you, don't you? Got a big old cleaver. Oh, it's this guy. Oh, yeah, your arm is going backwards. Okay. You also got a nice hat. This is the TF2 hat guy. Apparently. Alright. The TF2 hat guy. Yeah, oh, farming tool. Okay. You know? Okay. The farming implement. Right, because it has the E. I'm a genius. I just said that. Okay. Oy, oy, oy. I am needlessly hard on myself. Don't worry, I don't believe my own anti-hype. This guy's got a big old cleaver. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is Alborg, is his name. Neat. Neat. I just think they're neat. You have horns on you too. Aha! Oh, that's kind of cool. Looks like the arm goes... What the actual heck is going on with this build? Uh-oh. Hold on just a sec. I know you couldn't see that, but... the block here, where you're supposed to put on the tab you're supposed to put on it, is quite misshapen. So we're going to perform a little bit of surgery. Oh, quick update for the channel. I am going to be I will not be in on Monday, my time, because I will be playing a Warcrow game with some friends. It'll be my first full game, so not as opposed to a small demonstration. And That'll be neat. That'll be handy. That'll be cool. Beyond that, let's see. Gotcha. Very good. But beyond that, let's see. On Tuesday, we normally would do Power World together, but it looks like one of our folks is not going to be able to make it, and so we've decided as a group to postpone it, which is cool. It's fair. It's well and good. All that jazz. I appreciate it, even though I'm not the one having to, you know what I mean, postpone it. We're a good bunch that wants to make sure that everyone gets involved. Everyone gets to enjoy. One of my favorite games. Oh, thank you very much, Stream Elements. Always coming and glad no. Hey, if the whole rest of the world isn't on your side, Stream Elements is on your side, right? Hey. This might be okay. Here, just in case. That is perhaps a wee bit too much. Oh well. Too late now. And then while this is drying, another one. Missed a couple of messages too by my count. Means how? Super easy. Send a link to Graceborn. Oh! Send you a link to the Graceborn Mod Creators YouTube channel. Cool, go for it. Absolutely. And then what was the other one, if you don't mind? I hope if it's one of the more recent ones, I might have read over it and just not said anything. Because I am totally not distracted whatsoever. Hold on a moment. Oh, no, it didn't come through. That's what happened. I see. So the two that I missed did not come through. You said the other would be, and then we have our own, which means, and those seem to have been picked up by YouTube, thinking you were saying some dirty wordies. Actually, hold on while I'm thinking about it. Alright, and let's see. Pop. Congratulations, you are a moderator. Woo! So that hopefully won't happen. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust you. The usual disclaimers. Do not, throw a bunch of curse words into chat that no. I don't think you would. In fact, you even censored yourself. You even censored yourself on there, and it's still probably because you used a word that in another language is a curse word. That's probably what happened. Here's a fun little fact for you. If you wanted to trade a Pokemon with somebody, and in the modern games, and you didn't want to use its standard name, kind of, sort of, maybe, you're good, then you had a few, actually, hold on, I think that in some of the games, even the standard name would get you in trouble. Okay, so if I want to take a Pokemon and I trade it to you, its name by default is that language's default name. That sounds really obvious, but if I have a Jigglypuff in English, that Pokemon is named Purin in Japanese, and so, well, okay, bad example because cross-region. Let's see. If I wanted to give it to you in French, Rondoudou. In German, Homeluf. And if someone from France wanted to give it to someone in Germany, in German, it would, by default, just have the German name. That's my understanding of how it should work. However, if you decide to change the name, you have to watch out for you can't say a curse word in any of, I think it's 7 languages you have to watch out for. So for example, the middle evolution of Garchomp is called Gabite. It has bite in it, you know, bite, like biting something, right? But that's a curse word in French. So you couldn't trade, if you made that a nickname, you couldn't trade that to somebody else. It wouldn't let you. You'd have to change its name first. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. However, I don't think that Afrikaans is one of them. So you might be able to fit some of those words in there. Having coffee on an empty stomach. This is a great idea. Right. Hop. There we go. There you are. Hit the other one. Go. You're probably dry enough that I can wrap up on you, but let me get these done. Get these out of the way. Very good. Very good. Nice. The joy of it popping 2,500,000 miles away. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. This one is... Oh, I see which one. It's the one who's not... I mean, I'm sure he's green, but he's wearing so much bone over him, it's a bit hard to tell. Oh, speaking of, I'm going to have to get a lot of green for paint. Yay. Oh, it's fine. Oh, is this the... It is. Alright, we've reached the end of the albums. Well, I started in media res. Oh, Friend's proverb. That's probably not an African proverb. Probably not, if I had to guess. Oh, would you? This does not seem to fit all that well. There's a big gap. Instead of a thigh gap, we have a weird waist gap, which is not a thing, I hope. Do I have it backwards? Maybe? Here. I did have it backwards. Instead of putting something onto its back, you put its head down. Huh. Sure. Why not? That works. What a very weird... Oh dear. Way to build it. It's fine. Sometimes I think that they're sort of skirting the line between let's give more pieces so that people who love to build have more, and let's make it fewer pieces so people don't claw their own eyes out. They don't hate themselves trying to work on these. Hello? Thank you. Oh dear. It's not actually, it's just one of the ways we can tell someone to, yeah. I figured it was something to that effect. I got the distinct impression something told me. Somebody told me that you had a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend, and something rest of the song here. Insert rest of song. Alright. Ooh. Man, you got... Oh wait, that is... I'll say that's what it's supposed to look like. There's a mold line. Try to remove with this. Yeah, cool. Well and good. Well and good. Oh, okay. Ooh, whoops. Uh-oh. Alright, now, next time I'm just going to wait for you to dry first. Because now, I'm going to have heck trying to get you back together. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. I know you can't see what I'm doing right now. Sorry about that, but give me a sec. This one is being a pain in the butt. Oh! Just had it. Doesn't feel very stable. When I put it down, I know you can't see, but when I put the tab into the slot, it immediately comes up. Weirdly enough, if I lean it in a stupid way, technical term, it works just fine. The slot is quite shallow, more shallow than it should be, and so the tab can't completely go into the slot. That sounds like an innuendo, now that I think about it. Would you please? I'm just gonna leave you here for the next 25 years. Do not fall over, I beg of you. I would hate to have to melt you down for scraps. Okay. Perfect. Meanwhile, let me just move on to the next one. Perfect. Great. One of the teeth of this critter is in the way. I also can't say that I think that they did a great job with this one, because I am going to have to cut away one of the teeth, which isn't even, there isn't even a tooth like that on the other side. So, oh dear, oh dear. We're at a dentist now. T1 Glistener Dentist. Dental Elf? Dental Elf. Dental Elf sounds like a brand of dental floss. Thanks, I hate it. Hmm. Didn't seem to make much of a difference, did it? We'll just say that this guy has a good side and a bad side. 2 words for lightning. That's weather light. Threatened him to hit as hard as a lightning bolt. So translation, you have a low tier god word. A naughty word for that very reason. Yeah, oh, I'll bet. I can't possibly imagine how that would manifest. That could mean anything. Anything at all. One of the most difficult or uncomfortable Afrikaans sounds for English speakers to make. Featured on YouTube's front page. Hey! Well, it hasn't translated to views yet. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Hi everyone, I'm T1 Glistener Elf. I totally know what I'm doing. I'm not going even remotely crazy trying to put these things together. No, not whatsoever. Pretty sure that the headset wouldn't catch that, but something fell in the backyard behind me, and it's really freaking loud. Oh dear goodness. Man, moments like these when I wish that I had the microphone that just sits out, the HyperX. That would have been a funny little reaction. I'm trying to figure out how this guy's horns are supposed to fit. I think I got this one all figured out. The other not so much. Not yet anyway. I'm working on it. No, I have them in the right order. But this one just randomly has a big cut out of it. And maybe it's supposed to, but on the picture I don't see such a cut. I'll just mimic the picture as best I can. Or we could get a little creative. That'd be good too. Blowing up trash again? It sounded like something fell this time. Although, to be honest, I wouldn't put it past them. Yes, the neighbors literally blow up trash back there. Literally. That's... yeah. Not an exaggeration. That is actually what happens over there sometimes. Good times. I do live in Georgia. You never know. Oh dear. Blowing up trash. Only know that because it says YouTube feature. Oh, nice. Hey, you know what? I will not say no to that. Hi, thank you, YouTube. I will eventually learn who the CEO is so that I can say thank you that person instead of Susan, because Susan hasn't been the CEO for a while now. T1 Glistener would never use literally to mean figuratively. I should hope not. Yeah, literally blowing up trash. Yes. Oh dear. Yes, I am a pedant for using literally to mean literally and not figuratively. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. I could also completely change how this horn goes and have it go up instead, which I honestly think looks better than the way they have it in the picture. The way they have it in the picture has it curling, one goes up, one goes down, which means that this poor mammoth, yeah, that's Luna, that's one of the words you couldn't have said prior to being a mod. Oh dear. Yeah, it just has one tusk going up and one going down. Okay, that was entirely too much, and only half of it went where it was supposed to be. Woo. Who? Oh my goodness. still looks kind of janky. Oh, wait a minute. I see it now. Yeah, so the picture's out of date. Don't rely on the picture. The picture's dumb. This little groove actually does do something. Turns out. Okay, so the picture is just flat out wrong. That's great. We've actually seen that happen one other time, where the picture on the picture on the box looks like it uses an out-of-date sculpt. Or something is significantly different. Hi, can you please go in the hole? I would really appreciate that. Ha 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 ha. Oh, good God. Hi. Yes. It's what you get from my message where I cheekily use literally mean figuratively just to mess with you. Yep. 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 Totally. Totally. Let's go. Oh dear. Ooh. Hey. Ay 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 ay. Also, Luna, I'm quite, yeah. Look, I'm used to it being YouTube and not being able to say stuff like that. That when you did, it kind of caught me off guard. That's apparently what I take from it. Apparently. All right, 2 more, sort of, to make sure that Billy Bob over there gets all done up. Billy Bob, Albert. Hey, did you run off to? Aha, here we go. The joy of being a YouTuber. You may or may not be entirely too obsessed with what YouTube is going to bonk you for. Maybe. Are you sure you're not supposed to be there? You know, now that I think about it, Knight, the last time that it said that I was YouTube featured, I think was also when I was on the Shorts feed, as well as this time. So, hey, maybe. Maybe that's something to do with it. Maybe. Ay, 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 ay. I think this is too big. It's a mold line. Has to be a mold line. Where do you go? Yeah, whoops. Whoops. So there's you and you. Here we go. You and you and you and you and you. Oop. There you go. Here should be everything for you. I'm still going to let you keep drawing. You're in timeout. You know what you did. You know what you did, buddy. Hey. Alright, there you go. Weirdest looking. There's a circle right here in the center of this one's face that oddly enough makes it look like Bane or an AdMech, as little sense as that makes. Can't help but think it kind of looks the part. Bane or an AdMech. What's the meme? Bane or an AdMag? Gotta be some of my favorite genders. So you take things that aren't genders and you say, oh dear. Alright. Oh, you're just the pack mule. This poor person over here is a pack mule. Oh, interesting. Okay, it's a 2-point connection, but on one piece, which is actually appreciated. YouTube censorship is out of control. People should be able to refer to the oh dear goodness, without fear of being demonetized. So, I would hope that everyone would do so either as a joke or good faith historical reference or whatever. Unfortunately, I know that it would not be limited to just those people. So, you know, there's a reason why they do it that way, alas. In a perfect world, yes, but alas. We do not live in a perfect world. And we know this because Bloodborne is still locked to console and not on PC. Get on it, Sony. Where's the Bloodborne port, Mansley? Sony? This is in fact the most definitive way that we can tell that we do not live in a perfect world. Oh dear. Just to be safe, unironically, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens at some point, or something like that happens. Unironically, don't give YouTube any ideas. I think that's where the whole nothing interesting happened in 1488 meme came from. Meme. Because that is a year that is used as a code word, or a code. Oh, there's, oh wait, this goes down, so the opposite direction. Here we go, big guy. There we are, perfect. I'm sure there was something interesting that happened, but it was before the Age of Exploration began. So, it may not feel like it. Something had to have happened, though. In 1488, Columbus had yet sailed the ocean. Great. There, that's as much as we're getting. Had not yet sailed. And then just do that for the next 3 years, and the prior 14 point, oh dear, how many billion years? 14.3 billion years. Yes, the fan-made Bloodborne PC port is playable. I love that. The so the PS4 is kind of just, and I know someone's going to get on to me. This is an oversimplification. It's kind of just a computer. It's just a, well, it is literally a computer. It's a console, but what I mean is that it isn't, in terms of its hardware, all that different from a computer, and so it doesn't. It's not the hardest thing in the world to emulate because it isn't functioning very differently. And so because of that, it's surprisingly not been super hard to, I mean, not super hard. It's still been hard to make a PS4 emulator, of course, but, you know, oh god, now your waist popped off again. Alright, now we have to start this bit over. Where's the giant, Mansley? We can duck for cover. There's a fallout shelter right over there. There's no surviving this. You mean we're all going to die, Mansley, for our country. Screw our country. I want to live. For whatever reason, YouTube has been really obsessed with the Iron Giant lately. And yeah, I may have seen clips of it here and there, just randomly popping up. I can't be the only person this has happened to lately. lately. Iron Giant is, I want to say it's Disney, but I would not. Kind of looks like the part, right? Looks the part. Even after all that time, it had not actually dried its waste yet. Alright, you're just going to be in timeout until tomorrow. But I am not dealing. Oh, now I can't even get my finger off of it without it pulling the whole dang thing apart. I know, stop messing with it and it will dry, but I need to make sure that it's in place so that if it dries, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. Something else that starts with an F. Alright, yep, you're just in timeout for forever, buddy. I will clean this arm off so that not enough super glue dries to make it where it won't fit anymore. And then we'll just work on you maybe at the end of the night. Maybe. In an insanely long time. Here. I don't want to forget. So we'll set you over there. And get back to the good child over here that's not making me want to pull my infinitely long hair out. Oh dear, William the Conqueror's line has ruled England for 400 years. True. True. Okay. I mean, that's not really something happening, it's the continuation of something. It's like that famous breaking news, the Titanic sank 100 years ago. Which is kind of the opposite of breaking news. Alright, so my stomach is yelling at me and I say, screw it. We started late enough anyway. How long have I been going? Oh, just a little over an hour. This is the first year in a while that I haven't actually just done my taxes well ahead of tax day. Well, I suppose well ahead is relative, but I'm the kind of person to try to do it in January if possible, February at the latest. But this year's a little bit more complicated because I have a business, and business expenses are fun. Yay! And no, I do not have the money to pay somebody else to do it for me. I'm just going to have to be very meticulous. You are not fitting properly. This is fun. Great. Great. Another piece that's going to be stupid to put together. That's as close as I think that I can get. Right? It still leaves a big old gap up here. I'm going to just squeeze the life out of it, as one does. Alright. About our dear friend Harris. Oh no, what happened? Is it just more, where is the guy? Because yes, that's unfortunately been an evergreen sentiment. Is he still, I kind of wanted, when I get a break, I'll check Twitter and see if he's still on there, because last I saw he was still, granted occasionally, but he was still posting memes, reposting, retweeting. What platform is this? Re-Xing. Oh dear. has been a really long time. None of the explanations that I can think of, aside from the guy is just taking an extremely long time working, seem to fly, and it's been over 2 years, so I'm not even sure that that one flies anymore. I know, he has to make 2 videos now, at least 2 videos. Is he, hold on, is he just making patron videos now? That might do it, if he still has a bunch of Patreon videos that he's doing every now and then. Last post is a year ago? Was it really? I mean, it may very well be, well, I'm waiting for this to dry anyway. Oh boy. Hey. Oh look. Sorry, give me just a quick second. Let's see. I thought he was retweeting more recently than that. Let's see. Yeah, March 12th is a repost. March 9th. Yep, last YouTube post. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. So at least on YouTube, he is very occasionally, but he's still at least retweeting people. But when I say occasionally, I mean about twice a month now. It seems like he just logs in just often enough to remind us that he exists, or to, you know. Remind us that he still has his password. Yeah. I don't know. Still not dried yet. It is still not dried yet. It's been 84. Where did the rest of the... None of the glue has stuck to this second piece. Not a single bit is dry as a bone. No wonder it seemed like it wasn't doing anything. It wasn't doing anything. There's too much of a gap between the pieces. This is genuinely one of the bigger mistakes that I've seen in a model. How silly the gap is between these two. No, yeah, you did specifically state, but I do, so I was looking to see. Okay. Unfortunately, and I know what you mean, but unfortunately, Echo Chamber Simulator is a pretty apt description for every social media platform, almost by design. The ones that don't do that do not make it. And that's because if people see a lot of opinions with which they disagree, they do not stay on the platform. Yeah, so it's unfortunate, but that's true. At least for most people, that's how it works. Oh dear. Oh dear. Maybe we'll get some insane... What was it? Was it Mahler that did the 12-hour... I'll bet it was, actually. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. So Mahler is a gaming YouTuber? Let's see. What was that? 14 hour? No, 14 hour was Little Platoon, I think. Well, okay, that's cheating because that's putting multiple videos together. Let me see. Star Wars Outlaws, the Ubisoft Catastrophe. 17.5 hours long. 17.5 hours long. A wise man once said, "Wow." And that wise man is apparently Owen Wilson. Still, a lot of stuff I disagree with in YouTube. I'm still here. Yeah, but I guess YouTube, I don't really count YouTube as social media. I mean, it is, but it isn't a. I was about to say it isn't feed-based social media, but it is. It's just a different kind. It's qualitatively different than Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, something else, Reddit, something else that I'm missing, I'm sure. Because on those, I think on YouTube, it's a lot easier to see something you disagree with next to something that you agree with and just watch that instead. So the alternative is readily presented both on your homepage and on the, I'm on desktop, so the sidebar. Whereas I don't think that's so much the case for those others. Not so much. It also takes a lot longer to burn through something that you see on YouTube. Even a short takes, you know, at most 3 minutes. You and I are pretty fast readers. We can tear through a comment, a tweet, a Reddit post, a given message very quickly. Am I missing a piece here? Oh no, I'm not. Okay, no, to be fair, this one actually works. This one makes sense. I like this one. Oh dear. Alright, just a sec. I used Blue Sky for all of about like one. I don't even think I've posted on it yet. I used it to look at somebody's someone who was it's a voice actor who decided to cold turkey Twitter and was still active on Blue Sky, and I went to see what he was up to. No, I forget the guy's name. I don't remember the guy's name. It was the guy who complained about... It's ProZD, that's who it was. And that's all that I've used it for. And if I were not already on Twitter, I would not be using Twitter. I hardly use it as it is. Hold on, let me try to center it because, again, shorts. That's basically the inertia. If I were not already using something, I would not start using it. Principle. Oh dear, where did I get the idea I'm a fast reader? Are shooting stuff back and forth to each other while we're on a voice chat? I don't know, it seems like you read pretty decently quickly, right? Even though it's your second language. Ay. Instagram account don't use, mostly just use Reddit for stress relief. Woo! You found a side of Reddit that I didn't know existed. I guess that'll do it. Other than that, not really on social media. I've told this story before. When I was in college, senior year, I found that I was spending enough time on Facebook that it was affecting my grades. It doesn't have to be exclusively Facebook. Lots of people... Isn't reading though? Yeah, but like while we're on voice chat, reading stuff while we're on you know what I mean. I found that it was affecting my grades, and I'm the kind of person to just something isn't good for me, I guess I'll cold turkey it, and lo and behold, that's what I did. Well, okay, if I think it's worthy of doing that, then I'll cold turkey it. Oh dear. I guess the one exception would be something like, I guess, alcohol, which I don't cold turkey, but I just have very, very occasionally. So, you know. As you do. So you have, Luna says, I have a Blue Sky, X, DeviantArt. Oh, okay, DeviantArt. Yeah, I guess that counts too. So see specific people's posts. More than fair. That's a good reason to have it. Don't let yourself get caught doom scrolling, and then you realize that you've spent 2.5 hours doing actual factual nothing, and the sun is starting to rise. Okay, 6.5 hours, and the sun is starting to rise. I'm done for right now, because I do not trust that Dude Buddy Dare is dry, so I'm not even going to bother with him. No, please, for the love of goodness, no. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go and pick up some of my models, and we are going to start putting magnets on the bottom of them. There's my Sharpie. There's my little pocket dimension over here. Let me see how much you can... Oh, you can't see it. Oh, vampire mom. On that note, I'll be right back. Okay. Now you're cool, and just give me a quick second. Oi. This will be just a little too far away for me to stay tethered and still be able to talk to you, but it'll be 5 seconds. Well, okay. I need to find the ones that have the same size magnets as these, so hopefully 5 seconds, maybe a little longer. Second try. So a little over 5. Second try. Alright. It's been 84 years. Okay. God, I love that. Alright, here we go. Got these off. Knockoff is a move in Pokemon, which okay. That side. That side. Here we go. You all. No. None of those for a bit. Let me get all my Warcrow miniatures from Hegemony. Magnetize. Oh, by the way, make sure there's no identifying information in here first. This is sort of the entire Hegemony faction that exists right now in a box. The whole thing exists in a box. Cool. You can't see the stuff that's down here. You know what? I have to set them out anyway, so we'll just do that. That'll be fine. I say sort of because I could run multiples of some of these instead of just the one. Cool, well and good. Get these all set up first. Let's see. Oh, I picked the right faction, by the way. I know that I picked the right faction because they happen to have poison and I am T1 Glycerol. So I definitely chose well. Very good. Okay, let me see if I can set everything out more or less properly. More or less. Okay. I just realized I have not actually taken a picture of the army after it got primed. I took a picture of everything when it was unprimed, and just simply priming it is this weird middle state where it's not far enough along that it's not painted yet, so there's finished building, finished painting, but priming is just finished priming. Yeah. Oh dear. Alright. Oh, and yes, these are Zweihander users. They're pretty cool. Says the guy who really likes Zweihanders. Hey there, dwarf buddy. Lens connect. Side guard. Zweihander user. Very cool. Much wow. These are effectively all of my infantry. They're pretty cool. I said, so you can, for some of these, everything here except for the aggressors, you can run more than one of them at a time. Cool. Well and good. there's a limit to how many of these that you can carry. These are limited to 1. I think the bucklermen are limited to 3. These 2 are limited to 2 each. So why would you do that? Well, sometimes you want more conquest value, or you just really value the defense on these, etc. I could own multiples of these, but because of the proxy rule, the official proxy rule that they have, I don't have to worry about that. Not for a while, anyway. I would like to support a good company at some point, so I probably will, but just not yet. Also, I admit I say good company, and I do believe that that's true, but the build quality is not ideal. Alright, so for everybody else, you two are called pioneers. They're scouts, so that's cool. Didn't see how many scouts I'm allowed to carry around, though. Cool as that would be. Get my mages out. Get my short stacks out. Short stack. More dwarves. Where's the there you are. No? Yes? There we go. Short stacks. The big rig. This is the war rig. It's a freaking Imperial Knight. I mean, we are an empire, and it does look like a knight. Therefore, there's girl with gun, and the winged hussars. Ignore the fact that this one is not all the way down. I'm going to paint it first. Balance, please. There we go, cool. Here is the army. Here's the entire faction in one handy little clip, one little screenshot for you. For you. Cool, well and good. They're neat, I think. I just think they're neat. How are you still? Ta-da! Cool. Ignore that you can see through everything that's around the middle here. Foreshadowing is a literary device. I love when subtlety is defenestrated. There we go. I thought I was saying that correctly. For the sake of comedic value. It's fine. It is. So I love, okay, Luna says, I love salt. Yeah, now I can't have salt. Oh yeah, the blood pressure thing. At least not as much as I usually like to have. Because apparently I'm risking my life having so much salt with my blood pressure being what it is. Yeah, maybe tone it down just a little bit for right now. And also, I guess you may have been prescribed blood pressure medicine while salivating over women with swords. Listen, strange women distributing swords in pawns is no basis for government. Supreme executive power derives from a mandate from the masses, not from some farcical aquatic ceremony. I mean, if I went around saying I was an emperor, just because some moistened bent lopped a scimitar at me, they'd put me away. This Monty Python and the Holy Grail is absolutely fantastic, by the way. I will hear nothing to the contrary. I've not been prescribed blood pressure med. Okay. Usually those are fairly cheap, so that's why I said I wouldn't be surprised. Or would say I wouldn't be surprised. Let me do a test first, actually. Eeny, meeny, miny. None of them. These are all a little bit too big to fit into the hole that is clearly designed for them. Do I have enough smaller ones? No, screw me. Okay. Well, we still have options. It's not a bad idea for me to put down 2 magnets anyway. We have had magnet failures here, unfortunately. Yeah, it's going to get a little expensive, but I have literally hundreds of those, so we should be fine. We should be okay, he says. Hopefully. Aspirationally. I'm supposed to let that dry a bit first before I put another magnet down, even though they're not terribly close to one another. Just as a matter of being safe. Remember kids, use safety when playing with magnets. Oh dear. That sounds like the world's worst PSA campaign. Probably because it is. Insert 74 blood test. See my general practitioner Monday. Oh, okay. 74, yeah. Oh dear, we may have had just a few blood tests in that wonderful little health insurance plan. It's an old, if you remember YouTube Poops, I am old. It's Dadaism. It's where they would take little parts of different videos and would mix them together in such a way that it created humorous effects. It was funny. I liked it. I liked it anyway. I thought it was funny. It was a much bigger thing on ye old YouTube. You've seen those godforsaken Wand of Gamelon edits, Faces of Evil, Hotel Mario. It seemed like where they thrived. Because, you know, the voice acting in that was terrible, the writing was terrible, the gameplay was terrible. Oh no. What, ow. Screw it, it's fine. Screw it, it's fine. Oh dear. I know you can't see what's going on right now. I'm trying not to. Oh yeah, this is a great idea. I was trying not to put the glue on any of the models underneath here. I just now realized that is a thing I have to worry about now. Yay. Yay. Alright. Hopefully that's fine. That is good advice, Luna. Oh goodness. Oh fun. Oh fun. Alright. Alright. Let me try to lean forward so that this part's more visible, at least, for people. Hopefully, anyway. I picked a great time to do this part. Alright, it's fine, it's fine. Here, I have an idea. Now that I don't need you for Phil. Let me not put the magnet right next to my computer. I can't imagine how that would go badly. Oh, okay. Ooh, wait, there's a nice little place for me to prop my feet here. You can't see, but there's a green screen in the back. I can put my feet under the green screen. That feels great. I can stretch out. Don't mind if I do. And hey, now it's easier. Still not quite as close as it probably should be. So what I'm doing, to make sure I put the right side of the magnet down, I'm making a little mark. In this case, a circle. And get you to see which side is which. These will be two magnets, just in case. I use the mark on the magnet to know if I've accidentally messed up the polarity. You don't have to do that. I could do this instead. But if it flips, you'll know. So it's good practice. It's good practice too. Also, wait for longer than I just did. Please. Luna says, do not trust the day costs. You will get super cancer. I'm gonna take your word for it. Oh dear, do not trust the Dagoths. Ooh, shield into shield into shield into shield into shield. Cool. There are a lot of shields in this army, and yet this is not even the most defensive faction. It's fun like that. Defensively oriented, you know what I mean. Don't get defensive about it. Okay. Alright. So I'm just going to be made of super glue. Unfortunately. Itchy nose is itchy. Probably should let that dry a little bit first, he says, as he goes about it anyway. Oh, thank you, Stream Elements, as always. There's no laughing matter, even if it made old Yagi look like a Discord mod. Oh no. See, now Reddit mods I know have a reputation for being overly pedantic and easily offended and da-da-da. The only reputation that I'm aware of for Discord mods is, I guess, more of the same, but also the Discord, well, actually the kitten thing is something else. How that whole dynamic works, clearly. I'm so glad I'm flexible. Hey. Hey. Nice. More. I'll stop and get a drink here in just a moment. But the more of these that I can get started, so that they're drying, the better. Right. Now again, best practice is to mark one side of the magnet so that you know what you're doing. Getting her for mommy, oh dear sweet goodness. Oh dear. Alright, so I just have a layer of invisible chitin on me now. The super glue. The super mutant. Old Fallout, classic Fallout. By classic I mean 1 and 2. Man, oh man. No, I did not mean to get my hair lodged in there. Perfect. Perfect. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah. this isn't even the hardest magnetizing job that I've done this week. I mean, this isn't hard, it's just tedious. And, thankfully, once it's done, I will not have to do this again. Not for this faction, anyway. Even if one magnet comes off, surely the other one will be fine. The other one will stay on. That's kind of neat. Alright. Let's see, it's almost 11 o'clock over here. But because I had a nice long nap, geez, goodness. Should be good for a while. I, by the way, found a new friend who is into HEMA, Historical European Martial Arts, as I am. Which, that's kind of cool, it's kind of neat. Longsword instead of Zweihand or Rapier. I mean, I don't dislike longsword, it's just not my preference. And admittedly, I am not as good as a lot of people, because... So the longsword is almost certainly the most popular HEMA weapon, HEMA sword, HEMA weapon, period. And as a result, a lot of people get really into it. You kind of have to be really into it in order to be at that level, I would say, because a lot of people do. You've got a lot of competition. Luna says, New Vegas deserves a remaster with a proper post-game. I don't know about the post-game in New Vegas. When you say, okay, that's why I don't know about it, because Luna says it has literally no post-game. When you say literally, there's nothing that opens up after you, that either opens up after you beat the game, or that is clearly intended to be done after that, right? Because I believe you. That would explain it. It never even got a DLC, I believe. Here, responding to a Discord message. There we go. Alright. We may have some company later on. Tyberos, and or well, it'd be both, will hopefully be coming over. You can't even continue playing after the Battle of Hoover Dam? Oh. Okay, so Dark Souls is one of my favorite games. But, and I don't blame Miyazaki, I don't blame them for when they did this in Dark Souls, because they fixed it in later entries. Clearly they saw that it was something that people were asking for, and they fixed it for later games. Cool, well and good. But in Dark Souls, once you beat the final boss, you're done. That's it. You can't not go. You better have done everything you wanted before going into New Game Plus, because you're going straight into New Game Plus. I cannot tell you how much it pains me that they did not fix that in the remaster. Original game, sure, fair enough, whatever. The remaster, though? Man, they really phoned that remaster in. Both of the studios that worked on that did basically nothing to it. Oh dear. Basically nothing. The team that did it for everything that wasn't the Switch basically just put DS Fix on it, and the team that did it for the Switch basically just ported the 360 version to the Switch. Yeah, there's some bug fixes, but they also added some new bugs, including my favorite bug in Dark Souls, but, you know, the one that adds the most convenience to challenge runs, which is prompt swapping, I think is... It's been a while, but I think it's called prompt swapping, is the name of that little glitch. It kind of reminds me of, in Gen 1 Pokemon, there is a, what would you say, there's a glitch, of course, it's Gen 1 Pokemon, there's a glitch is kind of like saying water is wet. I like it, but they're kind of everywhere. Let's see, I just realized there's so many glitches, kind of having a hard time of thinking of which one best exemplifies this. Let's say that, okay, so even if an attack is 100% accurate in Gen 1, it's actually not. It's meant to be 100% accurate, but instead it is 255 over 256 for its accuracy. Cool, well and good. The only attacks that are truly 100% accurate are the ones that skip the accuracy checks. Like, I believe Swift skips the accuracy check, for instance. Silly stuff like that, right? Cool, well and good. They meant to fix that in Pokemon Stadium, which is still Gen 1, but is effectively a purely battle simulator version of Gen 1. They were meant to fix it, but unfortunately, due to the rather goofy way that they implemented it, what the game does is, if it fails the first time, it will make a second check. If it fails the second check, it just won't make checks anymore. So that means that you have a 1 in 65,536 chance to still miss, if I got the number right. Which, if you miss a 100% accurate move in Pokemon Stadium, make a clip out of it, I guess. And then just call it a day, probably. Just be done. Just be done for the day. Oh dear. 4 big DLCs and a couple smaller ones, but it doesn't even have New Game Plus. So it just shoots you back out of the menu and you're basically done with that. Oh no, it would just put you back to the last save you made before the battle, before you did that, right? You could reload the save, but well, I don't know. That's pretty silly. It sounds like one of those rare blemishes that people put up with for the game because the rest of the game is just so good. I mean, I play Dark Souls. I am that person. I am 100% that person. I will put up with all kinds of stuff because Dark Souls is such a great game. Things that they fixed in later entries for the most part. However, I really wish that they had gone back to the world design from the original Dark Souls, where it felt like a Metroidvania, where it felt more interconnected. Yep, you can reload saves, yeah, but otherwise back to the menu. That's what I was afraid it would be. At least there's that. You know, I played a Nintendo game from back in the day, a GBA game called Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga that worked the same way. There's no New Game Plus, and once you beat the final boss, it just shoots you the credits, and if you want to load back in, you would load right before the final boss. So you can fight the final boss over and over again, as many times as you would like, but that's kind of it. Yeah, a little bit less than ideal. Hear me humming along to the music. This is beach episode music to me. Toho the anime, the beach episode, the movie, the game. Ay. Luna says, I don't like Dark Souls level design because I like linear games. I really like it. I like the interconnected world, and I really wish that it had come back in future entries. It's one reason why DS3 felt a little disappointing to me. It felt... Linear design is not necessarily a bad thing, but it can be lazy game design. Because obviously it's easier to make corridor than to actually make the world interconnected. That doesn't mean that every linear game is lazy. See Lies of P for an example of a definitely not lazy sort of linear design. It's, yeah, not sort of, it's linear. But Lies of P is great because the world clearly was crafted. It's linear, sure, but that experience is made better because they know how you're going to approach an area and can hone the experience for that approach. For example, I know you're coming from this direction, there's a wall, there's an enemy behind it. I know you're coming from this way, so if you don't turn the camera, you're going to get ambushed by an enemy behind you that you totally should have seen. They can do it because you know you're going in one direction, etc., and so on and so forth. But sometimes it can be the lazy option. That's how DS3 kind of feels to me sometimes. Sometimes. Ooh, jeez. Okay, whoa, whoa, bud. Whoa, buddy. I see. That's why I flipped around. All right, there we go. Whoops. Better hurry. Lies of P is the most linear of games. I don't know that I'd quite say that. It feels like there are... So the reason I didn't immediately just say, yeah, it's a linear game, is because it feels like there are chunks in the game, and within those chunks, they can feel a little bit non-linear. And then, but you go from one chunk to the next, to the next, to the next, without breaking that sequence. And by chunk, I basically just mean named levels. So my favorite example of one that folds in on itself is the exhibition hall. I don't remember the name that the game gives it, but the exhibition hall, where there are a lot of little side paths, and importantly, there's quite a few places where you can drop down. You can get back to the front of the exhibition hall by going from the rafters down a ladder, fighting a mini boss, getting some loot, opening a door, and hey, you see that you're back around to the front. And that ends up being a shortcut for later on. I think that's pretty cool. That's a neat little revelation. Although I think it's a little bit lost on players because it doesn't seem like it's as much of a shortcut as it actually is. It looks like, oh, I'm back around to the front, why do I care for this? Well, the answer is because you could start at the beginning now, turn around, walk out the door, head through the gate, up the ladder, and now you've saved yourself a bit of time. Granted, that doesn't feel like it's all that short, now that I say it out loud. Both can be done well and both poorly, yes. I'm just saying that it's easier to do linear lazily. Not necessarily poorly, but lazily. Oh dear. Okay. These are probably dry enough that I can start putting some of these back in the box. Just to be on the safe side, though, I won't. Just to be on the safe side. We'll keep this up for a little bit. Someone who's played Lies of P several times over in a very short amount of time, other than shortcuts, they're almost completely... Yes, well, I agree. Other than shortcuts is doing a lot of work, though. Chunk to chunk to chunk is linear. But within a given level, the levels can be interconnected. And I like the ways in which they're interconnected. Here's a neat little thing that Souls-likes do with some frequency. It's my beloved door does not open from this side. Does not open from this side. It's you have to go through the challenge one time, the intended way. After that, you open the door and now you have earned the right to skip that challenge in the future. So for example, the classic would be something like you start here, there's a doorway here, it does not open from the side, and a boss over here, right? So you go and do all this little mess up here. This is the actual level, right? And then you come down, open the door. So now, instead of having to run through all of that to get to the boss, you run through the door and straight to the boss. It's not necessarily a better thing. Sometimes building in the challenge of going through all those enemies first is effectively part of the boss fight. It's the get better at running through those enemies so that you can do more when you actually get to the boss. that is another way to do it, and Dark Souls does that pretty well, I think, in the first 2/3 of the game. I can't say much more than that because Bed of Chaos exists, but for the first 2/3 of the game, I think that it does that rather well, including the first, let's say, non-tutorial boss in the game, Taurus Demon, where a lot of the Taurus Demon is not a very hard fight, but you also have to clear the enemies ahead of it first. I think that's neat. The more modern design, of course, is just to have the player run straight to the boss arena. Shortcuts don't make it non-linear because you have to go through the level on a set. They kind of do. They do in that sense that I was talking about with the does not open from this side. It folds in on itself. The level is folding in on itself. I mean, that's a very simple example. Expedition. I've played a lot of Expedition 33. Exhibition Hall is a better example, which does this several times over. It does have that at the end, the kick the ladder down and now you can run straight to the boss fight. It does have that too. But it also has, like I said, the walk outside, you have the gate that opens the shortcut to get you back a ways. It does that around the NPC you're supposed to meet up. I see that, Luna. Interconnected does not equal nonlinear. Thank you, Harris. Somebody that we watched that says the same thing. In a... Was that Bloodborne? No, that was the Dark Souls 2 video. I think. It was either Bloodborne or the Dark Souls 2 video. Pretty sure it was DS2. Harris actually likes DS2 more than DS1. Now, granted, he only played the original at the time that he made that video, not Scholar of the First Sin. Good? Good? The original is the better version of the game, in my opinion. And Scholar of the First Sin is, I think, the worst place for someone new to the series to start out. I think it's the most likely to have someone bounce off if they start there. Because it would be kind of like a lesser version of someone's first Mario game being Kaizo Mario. No, please. Oh dear. It does kind of make it non-linear though. Kind of. Alright. This guy is Uncle Ruckus. I know this makes absolutely a negative amount of sense, even if you know who that is, because you can't see the model, especially since the whole model is all black. That's not the reason why. As we all know, Uncle Ruckus is 102% African with a 2% margin of error. Oh dear. No, that's not the reason why. It's the book he has right out in front of him with all the magic abounding around him. That was one of the episodes of all time. One of the episodes. He played Scholar by the time of his In Defense of DS2. I think... No? In that video he said he hadn't played the Scholar version yet, but he was telling what other people had mentioned about it. Wait. No, that was Bloodborne. You're right. That was Bloodborne. You're right. Hold on. You're right. Ah. God, it's been a sec. That used to be one of those videos that I would fall asleep to because I had seen it enough times that I could mostly just turn my brain off. And this was before... He didn't screech very much in those. He's not exactly the easiest guy to fall asleep to most of the time because he does screech in some of his videos. For dramatic effect, for comedic effect. Yeah. I'm not doing a very good job of selling this guy. I don't know, he's pretty fun. Oh! Now my fingers are glued together. Yay! He said in his DS2 video he hadn't played DS3. In the Bloodborne video, I think it was, he said he hadn't played Scholar yet. That gives me some homework. That gives me something to do later on. Watch a video for the 15th time. Well, not so much watch. Listen to it for the 15th time. Now, this is a cool model. It'll be great to paint. I will not be in agony the entire time. No way, Jose. And yet I'm almost done. So that's nice. That's nice. Get our short stack dwarf over here. Very good. That's a lot of glue. I'm just made of glue at this point. Yes, I'm not disagreeing with you. Oh, just having a good old time being old and having dementia, apparently. That's all. Oh dear. Being old and having dementia. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did you run off too, did you? I hope I've been being better about staying on camera while I've been doing this. Doing something with way too much time in our hands. Practically a Harris Scholar. That fair. Way too much. Too much time in my hands. Alright. Alright. Bop. There we go. Cool. Got it. I hope I've been doing a better job about staying on camera while I've been doing this. I hope. Maybe. Yup. Let me just glue my hair together really quickly. Where did the music go? Did I just... oh wait, it's muted. Perfect, there it is. Alright, there's the music. My elbow hit the volume controls. Ay, ay, ay. Thought we might have been between songs. Realized that's not when the song ends. When it comes to useless information. We're nerds. We're supposed to be like that, right? We write wikis about stuff like that. Speaking of, congrats to Karo for showing up on a wiki, a VTuber wiki some time ago. Cool on him. Karo Malone is a good friend of the channel. Luna says, I'm hungry, have some corned beef and onion in a roll. I see the word onion, I immediately think, yep. It's a French battle song. It's neat. It's neat. Neat! I just think there. Yeah. Yep. Hey, go for it. Not my thing. You enjoy. Figure out what I want to do with the big ends over here. And the answer is probably just stick 3 on each of them. Triangles. Probably. Maybe. Well, now with all this glue on my hands, I definitely can't play another game. A game that involves a controller for a while. Not for a bit. Luna says, you know, no idea how many times I want to reach the screen and strangle you for getting basic stuff wrong when explaining Elden Ring to Kara. What? Like what? Says the person who thinks that America and Godwin got it on. I'm kidding. Basic stuff. Also, there is a lot of crosstalk, so sometimes I have to give abbreviated explanations for stuff. Because with that, nothing against CJ or Tim or Smug, we've had too many people in that. It can sometimes be a bit difficult to not just turn the whole thing into talking over each other. Especially with personalities where multiple people really want to say something, and sometimes they're patient, sometimes they're not. Shoutouts to Tim for being the most patient person on earth, because both in that and the Pokemon draft stream, he would wait for, in some cases, minutes at a time, while, you know, Salty or Tyberos or whoever is going off about something. Sometimes you'll know that I know that it's happening when I say something like, "What were you saying, Tim?" Or "What were you saying?" Something like that. Basically trying to get the conversation back to the person who I heard was trying to say something and was being interrupted, or just couldn't find a time to say something. When you hear me say, "What were you saying?" such and such, that's basically what I'm doing. Here's a fun little bit of T1 Glycerin behind the scenes for you. Oh dear, retains the detail like a sponge or something? My goodness, I have to get a hobby. Let's see. Have you tried? Let's see. Have you tried writing? I know we've talked about that, but it's been a hot second ago. We may have slept since then. No, it's us, so not very much, but we may have slept a little bit since then. Oh dear. I'm an insomniac and you don't have a bedtime. There we go. When you get a fact about your supposed favorite game wrong. Like what? I'm not disagreeing with you, but like what? I was admittedly a little bit proud of myself for getting something right about an item in the game that CJ and Tim were insisting worked a different way. It's a tiny little thing, but there's an item that gives +5 dexterity and has another effect that doesn't matter for this, but it's +5, and they were saying it's +3. I knew it at least had been +5, and I thought that it must have gotten nerfed, but it was still +5. I remembered that from, I think it was watching videos of rune level 1 challenges. You can't improve your level when you're doing a rune level 1 run, so you have to use your equipment to get higher. And in order to meet certain breakpoints where you can use an item, use a weapon, people would use, for example, strength or dexterity augmenting equipment. And I thought I remembered that. So there's one that improves your dex by 5, this one that improves it by 5 and gives another effect. Basically, now you're at 20 dex. Godric's rune makes it 25, and then Radagon's Source Seal makes it 30. Millicent Prosthesis. Yep, Millicent Prosthesis. You got it. You got it. And also, how many challenge runs will kill Millicent early? They'll kill her outside of the Godskin Apostle fight, just to get her prosthesis. The monsters. They won't go through her whole quest, they'll just kill her. Oh dear. If I remember correctly, well, I say that. I think if you do it in if you aggro her in certain locations, you only get one shot at it, because she will disappear if you fail. Basically, if you unload the area, she'll disappear. But I don't know that that's the case. I've never tried it myself. But I think I remember seeing, what's his name? Not Rusty. Talk about that. Elden Ring speedrunner, challenge runner, randomizer, aficionado. I think it's Rusty. I can hear the guy's voice. Celestial Dew is a thing. Well, I mean, fair. Oh, yeah. So I don't know if that puts them back into the world or not. If it does, then yeah, that would give you another shot at it. Still, you are limited in how many you have. That is a fairly rare item in the game. It's not exactly meant to be something that you need too many times. I would hope. Rusty does list. Okay. Let's see. It's also just good to have for randos. Oh dear, imagine if the first time that I do an Elden Ring rune level 1 run, it's a randomizer run. Can you imagine? That would be insane. Let's totally do it. Actually, maybe let's not. Not as the first go. I don't think I would want that to be my first experience with it. Oops, crap. Alright, well, it worked out. The magnet slipped from my fingers now that I don't have fingerprints anymore, and thankfully snapped onto the other magnet, so I could tell which way its polarity was facing. That's handy. So unless they die, they should reappear? You would hope so. You would think. That's how you hope it would work. Corvus Belli 2023. Seeing on the bottom of the base here. This is one of the bases that came with the models, you see. Alright. I did actually have to use that in my first playthrough. I'm pretty sure it was for... Yes, it was. It was for Nefeli Lu, outside of the village of the Albanorex. Because I think I was attacking some of the ones that were around me and just accidentally hit her. Oh dear. Oh dear. That just leaves the biggins. Man. Go back to best practice. Imagine Hiroshima smell? Yeah. I can imagine it not being a bed of roses. It's okay. It's okay. She has earned the right to smell like that. Now I fight as Nefeli Lu, warrior. Perfect. Yeah, I gotcha. I knew what you meant. Well, when you... She doesn't exactly look like she showers all the time, and she is a physical fighter, so yeah. Ooh, not there. There we go. Alright, I'm going to have to... A lot of the glue was lost on it, so... Too late. Okay, well, let's just glue stuff around it. Little too much. Better too much than too little, but Jesus. Perfect. Alright. Sweaty warrior mom. I have been told that my sweat smells good. Naturally, this is just by the lasses. Just by the lasses. But I have been told that. So. But then again, I also shower pretty often, so hopefully you're not getting too terribly much of it all at once. Oy. Okay. I am getting tired. I am slowing down. So my sleeve catches the Black Angel. The Winged Hussar. winged hussars arrived. Insert rest of song here. There we go. So Luna says, fun fact, body odor was used to attract mates. Yeah. If someone's body odor smells good to you, it could be a sign their genes are very diverse from yours. Ah, so I didn't realize that that was the reason. That kind of makes sense, though. Okay. Now, for humans, that is not as big of a factor as it used to be. A lot of animals mate using pheromones to attract. That's what they use to attract mates. Many birds might not, because they use visual displays, like where the male is very colorful. Or primates don't tend to do that, though. And you know, it's beneficial to us that we not care about pheromones as much, because we're a social species. That might not give you the best outcome if that's what you care about, or not care about. If it might lead you to choose a mate that doesn't best benefit you in a social setting. It is a detriment to the evolution of mankind. I wouldn't say that that means don't wear deodorant. Admittedly, I don't wear a lot, or anything that's very strong. Enough that I can do this again here. For this first one, I don't trust it. I'm going to wash my hands in water that is as warm as I can handle for a really long time. There we go. Just to get this super glue off my fingers. As one does. As one does. Oop, hello. My goodness. I may have heard these songs a few hundred times by now. I don't think 100 is an exaggeration. Well, just having them on the background while I do these streams, it's nice. You know, I just remembered something that I could quickly turn on. Yeah, hold on. I know you can't see, but just a sec. Nope. Let me not have my fingers stick. Please and thank you. Any second now. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Any day. Come on, where are you, Depresso? There you are. Hey, buddy. Hey, Depresso. Good to see you. And now your Malpaca will show up here in a bit. Luna says, in a world where most people wear deodorant, I wear deodorant. If not wearing deodorant was socially acceptable, wouldn't wear it so I can attract a mate with my sweet, sweet stench. I know what you mean. It is convenient to not have to worry about that sort of thing. Admittedly. We didn't exactly evolve in an environment where stores with deodorant or just deodorant existed. You're still incentivized to bathe, though. At least there's oh Jesus. At least there's that. Oh my god. Well, that was weird. Decided to do a trick on me. Yeah, okay. I just need 2 more. That's it. Oh, there we are. Oh, 2 more, and then I will be done with the army. Magnetizing it anyway. Then I will have to paint. Unfortunately, actually know that I'm going to be staying up that much longer. I appreciate getting to hang out with you all, and getting to talk with you, Luna, for a bit. Wait, there it goes. I was about to say, where did your stream avatar go? There it is. There we have it. Okay, much better then. Much better now. Alright. It says, can you tell my way of thinking is quite a bit different from yours? I mean, that's fine. Unique perspectives are great. It is especially fine to have an enchanting view of humans. Sure, we evolved just like everything else did, but we can, if we're conscious about it, for lack of a better way, ascend past that kind of thinking. At least that's the hope. That's the plan, you know? Hey, if we're conscious about it. We get some deodorant from the deodorant tree. Oh dear. Unironically, I wouldn't be surprised if there were, you know how people figure that, oh, this random berry that we're eating happens to actually have a medicinal purpose. I wouldn't be surprised if people figured out stuff like that as well. Oh, you smell better when you have this going on. Maybe. 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 To be honest, with how long that took, I think I kind of just want to be done. Okay, buddy. It has been over an hour. You had better be dry. I swear to sweet... Nope, I'm still not going to risk it. I will put your arms on later. Right now, I am going to make absolutely sure as heck that you are the driest thing since insert innuendo here. Yep, you are staying right there. Buddy old pal, friend of mine. Right there. Poop! And then get all the excess super glue off so that you will hopefully last longer. It's like how these days most people eat for the joy of eating, not just for survival. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's why we can have foods that would kill us. Oh dear. There's an sentiment I should express on stream. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry about that. Okay. For the northern tribesmen here, I'm just going to prime them all at once, probably. Most people do it for pleasure first, reproduction second. Yeah, fair. Probably. Yeah. I mean, it's always been both. It's always been at least the former. I would be very, very strongly surprised if it hasn't always been at least the former. You know, there's this neat little thing. If it feels good, you want to keep doing it. That's a evolutionary incentive. If it didn't, then you wouldn't do it as much, and you wouldn't pass your genes on as much. That's the idea anyway. Woo! I know that there's some animals that are exceptions to that, but thank goodness we're not one of them. Thank goodness. Alright. Now I'm just peeling glue off of me. Let me make absolutely positively sure that Tibros is still streaming. I want to make sure first. So refresh my handy little dashboard. Oh yeah, I'm actually just... I don't know how well that shows up, but yeah, there's a lot. I can feel where it just came up. Hey, I can feel again. I'm just feeling tired. Even with that long nap, I'm playing off of very little sleep going into this. If I'm going to do an early stream tomorrow, I'm going to have to get some rest, unfortunately. Daggerfall edition of the real bar inside. To the wikis! What's the best wiki for Elder Scrolls stuff? There's no way on earth it's fandom. I should hope. Okay, so an advantage is that I am going to be able to raid into Tibros. You may or may not hear me talking with Tyberus and Batshark. Batshark and Lila. Batshark is the combined chat. Whatever, you know what I mean. I may join them in voice chat for a little bit while they play. Maybe, and while I eat. But if I do, it won't be for very long, but it'll be returning the favor. They've been jumping into mine, I'll jump into theirs. Are they on... They might be on Twitch. Let me see, hold on. Batshark BT Twitch? That way I can double raid. I usually raid into the same person twice. Or, no, I'm saying 2 different people, but I could double raid. There we go. I know you can't see this, but just unofficial Elder Scrolls pages with UESP. Okay, good. UESP. Can't remember that, I hope. Maybe. Oh, there is not one. Oh, I don't stream on Twitch. Fair enough. Cool. Well, good. Well, in that case, I guess we're raiding into somebody else. Let's see. Who am I following? D1 Tiny War. Tiny War. That sounds like a one-page rules thing. Oh, Megaplicity is playing Power World. Okay, we're raiding her for Power World. This will be my first Twitch raid into her, so that'll be fun. So on Twitch, we're going to raid into a Power World streamer, a new, I say new VTuber, not a new channel, but a fairly new VTuber, and then with my one viewer over there. Hi, Plague Doc, probably. Alright. I will start it as forum pages. That sounds about right. For a series as old as that. If you don't mind, before I send you all over, if you'll say hi for me, I'd appreciate it. It makes us look good, helps them in the algorithm. It'd just be nice. And Tyberos was trying to join me before my stream. If I had streamed at a normal time, he would have. Alright. Got some stuff done. We've magnetized the army. The whole army. Which means the actual last thing that I have to do for this army is to paint it. Now, depending on how detailed I am, that might be, well, I guess in basing it too, that might be fairly quick. Maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Alright, I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Woo.